Everyday people, what's up? I'm here with the Hip Hop Loves Foundation, but I'm not gonna talk about it. I want this guy to tell us who he is and what the Hip Hop Love Foundation does. So take it away.
My name is Sebastian Martin Greenberg, aka Sibba Jibba. Call me Sibba. I'm a co-founder with Renee John Sandy. We've been existing for 3 years, since 2009 when we did our first event in Brazil. I'm originally a musician, originally from France. Musician, produce hip-hop, work with jazz, world music. In the past I've worked with Everlasting House of Pain on this triple platinum, Whitey Forsyth, the blues album. I've worked with Sadat X, Brand Nubian, Vinio Mojica, De La Soul, various artists, people from France as well. Group I Am, which is from the south of France. Work with different artists out of Paris. So that's my background, is from music, working with various record labels. So I have, industry experience and musical experience, which led me to have this idea after traveling a lot to Brazil. And it's a coincidence because today we have some people from Brazil who are visiting some artists. And after, my mom has spent a lot of time in Brazil, so I always heard it as a kid, as an idea. I traveled a lot there, and I said, you know what, maybe we should do an event, international hip hop event in Rio, because there's not that much there. So the idea came, and I talked to Renee about the idea. We were friends from back in time. Never worked together, but just friends on the scene, hip hop movement, NYC. So at the time, I talked to him about the idea, and he thought the idea was great. He always had some, interest in international hip hop, which is really where you need to have interest to be, part of this, because we work with a lot of hip hop that's not in English. It's in native language, whether it be from Africa, whether it be from Brazil, or from Asia. And I've always felt that there was, kind of a barrier with the language, and like a lot of people in North America weren't even interested in listening because it's not in English. So, the idea came about, talked to Renee, we decided to throw this event on Hip Hop Loves Rio, and that was our first success. We did work in the favelas. If you've seen City of Gods, the movie, you know what favelas are like. It is hood, but it's much more than hood. Economically speaking, there is absolutely no money there. So we worked in one of the illest favelas in Rio called Favela da Maré, and we actually connected this nonprofit in the favela to work with boxing. So when you're asking about the connection with sports and hip hop loves, urban cultures always had sports involved. Hip hop, kids into hip hop, they like basketball, they like football, they like baseball. And they're starting to get into soccer, which is the most played international sport. So, that connection has always been there within the urban culture. So we figured that would make a lot of sense. And that's how we connected with this boxing workshop and the boxing nonprofit, and did workshops there. DJ workshops, we did MC workshops, we did some breakdance workshops. And the next day we worked at the University of Rio, did the same kind of event. And, that was a first. And that gave way for us to keep going. As it went well, we decided, let's take this to our local scene. And that's where we started with working with the Harlem Children's Home. And I will say, as of today, that's been our biggest success. Most, successful ventures working with Harlem Children's Home. It's been 2 years now. We first started by just doing one-off workshops with various artists. When Graffiti, DJ John Quick did the DJing, Punchline did the MC workshop. I did a little music production workshop because I did beats. So we started just like that, and as they saw how the kids were really into it. As of last year, we started this full-on music production workshop, which we're expanding this year to music production workshop / songwriting. So instead of being once a week with me, it's going to be twice a week with me and Punchline, who's an MC, experienced veteran on the NYC and the world hip hop scene. So we're going to start next month in October as a weekly thing. It's 10 weeks, and probably carry over to the spring, because kids have been very interested in what's going on and forthcoming, and they don't have mandatory attendance to these, this workshop that I do. They just come if they really want to come. So, it's been great just to see talent and just to see the hunger of certain kids, when you're really pushing, you give your all. Because, we do get, some compensation for it, but we do a lot of volunteer work. Within 10 weeks, it might have been like last year, it was 8 weeks, I was there for 16 weeks. So, we give a lot of time. Artists that have come in the past workshop have given their time. We got a couple people from record labels last year, from EMI came, Old School MC Nikki D came, Tony Blackman came, who's also an artist. So, we try to also have variation. So it's not every week, it's me. So we bring in other people, other facilitators, just to, change it up, change the pace, different ideas, different approach. Because we all have different approaches on how we think, music should be made or everything.
So how can an everyday person that's viewing this in the New York City area go to one of your workshops?
Well, the thing is, a lot of workshops we're doing now, I would say, young kids, if they want to be part of this, they could definitely go to the Harlem Children's Zone. And, we work mainly with teens. We start with from 13 to about 17 when they start college. So if you have, youth out there who want to be part of the program after school, you don't have to be in the Harlem area. We have kids who come from Brooklyn. We have kids who come from Long Island to go to this. So if you're into, finding activities after school and not just being in the street or, roaming around, you can come. This is the center we work at. It's called Learn to Earn. It's 134th Street. But just to keep in mind that Harlem Children's Zone has 17 different sites in Harlem. So they work at different sites that focus on different things.
Yeah, because the one I know is on, I think, 119th for Lennox.
There's various ones. Some do music, some do sports, some do both, some just do academic. So for people out there, you want to expand your world, whether it be, getting some tutoring on some academics, or if you want to expand your world on some music, definitely get at us. We have a website, hiphoploves.com, which is kind of under construction, but you can see a little bit, but it's really on the Facebook. You can catch us, Hip Hop Loves Foundation. You can see a lot of the events, past and present. We just came back yesterday. We just did a workshop with these kids. They're mainly dancers from Brazil. So we did a workshop with the B-Boy Mouse, Matt Britton, who's the program director at Harlem Children's Zone, Learn to Earn. He got Mouse to come. We brought Punchline, and we did an MC workshop and a dance workshop. And, really just, really the mission of Hip Hop Loves is really to bring, youth from the world together. Cross-cultural events, cross-cultural, programs. What's going on inside here now in the studio is definitely what we love to make happen, which is get kids from another country, get kids from different places in Brazil. Brazil, it's almost as big as the U.S. So there's a lot of things going on in Brazil. Fifth economy, from what I'm hearing, in the world, starting to really thrive. They're really doing their thing. World Cup in 2014, the Olympics 2016. I think you should check out what's going on in Brazil.
All right, I got two more things to ask you. Where did you get your name from?
Wow, Sibba Jibba, that came up, my man Byron, B-Ron, from when I came here in '84, I used to live in the Lower East Side, which was really rough back then. Alphabet City was...
Still is.
Yeah, it's calmed down, a lot of yuppies, but there's still some rough areas, and the cats I used to hang out with, on the streets, on the block, boom, they were just, it was SBG to start, and then it became Sibba Jibba. So I took it, and I made it my own.
All right, last question. You want to tell the viewers, the everyday peoples, what's good? In one quick sentence, what's good to you?
All right, everyday peoples, I have to say, to me, within this context, giving back is what's good. You got to give back at some point, whether it's small, whether it's large. Give back.
Everyday peoples, you heard it.
Everyday peoples, peace.